Howdy guys, Alex with San Antonio Vapor Blasting coming to you with a three-wheeler update. So this update, we're going to be showing off some of the progress we've made in between paying customers. We work on my own personal projects. So looking at the frame right off the bat, you can tell that we've already got a new front frame completely tied in, ready to go. We've already touched it up with a little bit of Steel It Black. That way it doesn't get any sort of surface rust while we're continuing to work on it. We're going to hit it with another layer, another coat. That way it has a lot of abrasion resistance. The only thing that we're missing up here is going to be engine mounts. So all the frame that I've done so far up here is made out of 4130 Chromoly. I sleeved it over the existing Blaster engine mount. You can call them the front engine mount tubes, if you will. We don't have engine mounts quite yet. I've got two cutouts using some random diamond plate steel that we have here. Those will be mounted accordingly. Thankfully, the previous owner did not chop off the rear engine mounts. That way we can take the engine, once we're done with it, in the green Yamaha Blaster, mount it in here. It will have our left to right correct. That way the chain aligns with the rear end and the sprocket and all that. We can locate where these front mounts will go from there, and then we'll be fully tied in and done with welding on the frame, which is a super cool feeling. On the existing bike, we're gonna be taking the engine, the Pro Circuit Platinum expansion pipe, and the Pro Circuit stainless silencer exhaust off of that bike. We do need to do a little bit more dyno work. I say dyno work on it. We're gonna be running it up and down the street. I need to switch over carbs using this stock OEM Mikuni. We're gonna be running, I think, 300 or 310 jets on it, so significantly bigger because we have porting work done. We've got aftermarket expansion pipe, aftermarket exhaust. We're also going to be using this airbox. This is a eBay special aluminum airbox. So in order to use this box, you actually have to cut plastics, cut the airbox out of the existing rear end plastics. We're not going to be doing that, so I actually have to disassemble that bike, take the rear plastics off in order to run this airbox. I'm going to be using a uni filter. So once we get proper jetting, do a couple plug chops on that, verify that everything's jetted correctly. Then we're gonna be swapping that entire engine, exhaust, expansion pipe over to this frame. Gonna be using this frame, that engine, and I'll put another engine in that one later. But once we get that all mounted up, then we're all the way full blast on assembly. I've got primer coming in. I've got this Color Right off-road paint. This is the closest paint that I've seen that matches the Honda Passion Red. You see it's pretty darn close. We're gonna be using this paint on the neck and this front support that's not painted yet. We're also gonna be using it once I disassemble the rear shock on this coil. So I'm gonna take it apart. I'm gonna sandblast, vapor blast this coil till it's nice and clean. I'm also gonna be painting the Honda Passion Red. That way it matches a little bit of color coordination front to rear. What else we got? We got a Banshee rear axle. This guy is a +4 over the OEM Yamaha Blaster rear end. We've got the new to me, freshly polished ATC 200X front wheel. We've got a brand new tire mounted on that. That guy's ready to go. We've got some generously donated used tires from Chris over at Nissan Motorsports, donated those to us. So we're gonna take the existing wheels off of them, put our newly refurbished wheels. So these wheels I disassembled, vapor blast, and hit them with some Steel It Black. So they look super clean, came out really nice, really happy with those. Those will go on our new to us tires for the rear end. Off of eBay, I was able to score this Armadillo 6-pack rack. Had a big old crack right here. This whole part was caved in. So I actually had to bend it all out, cut away the old weld, and I hit it with a little bit of aluminum weld. It's not perfect, it's not pretty, but at the same time it's gonna hold for right now. I hit it initially with aluminum oxide in the vapor blasting tank just to clean it up. I will be taking it back to the tank, hitting it with glass bead. That way it's super, super, super shiny and just glows. Really excited about that. This is the rear master cylinder for the hydraulic brake we're going to be using. So we're switching this bike over to hydraulic rear brakes. That needs to be vapor blasted and recoated, not a problem. Down here I've got handlebars, same thing, need to be vapor blasted, recoated. I've got some rear axle nuts, have been blasted. I've got the rear end swing arm, which I vapor blasted it, did a little bit more touch-up work with a wire wheel. It's gonna go back in the tank, get blasted so it's nice and perfect. I've got swing arm bushings and bearings right here, ready to go once it's done in the tank. I've got my rear axle. This is the rear brake, stock, OEM. I'm gonna be using this splined mount in order to mount the rear brake for the Yamaha Blaster. This is the front ATC front brake, both ready to go. Brand new 40-tooth sprocket. The rear carrier for the Yamaha Blaster, been blasted, it's been rebuilt. New bearings, new seals, repainted with Steel-It Black, looking super clean. This is the rear sprocket holder from the Blaster. It's been blasted. I don't know quite yet if I want to recoat it with something. I probably will. Probably Steel-It Black or Steel-It stainless steel color. So right up here I've got the front master brake, that guard that's been refurbished, repainted. I've got the front hub for the Honda 200X, been blasted, new bearings, new seals, and recoated in stainless Steel-It. I've got a new front brake line from Galfer Brakes. They make really, really clean stuff. I've had some other Chinese ones before that'll work. However, you can tell there's a big quality difference between a higher end front brake line or stuff that's been made in the USA. So excellent, excellent quality stuff right there. New hardware. You can get them in different colors. It's just excellent quality stuff. Rear hubs that have been vapor blasted. Might do some more touch up. I might repaint them. I haven't decided yet. Probably stainless Steel-It. FMF seat cover with a new seat pan. I put some new foam in there. I didn't completely redo it with a brand new foam insert. Those are about $100. I instead went the cheapo route. Went to Joann Fabrics and bought a chunk of foam for like $6, maybe $5. Made a heck of a mess, and it's still not perfect. It's a little bit lumpy, but to be fair, it's a lot better than it was. It's not collapsed anymore. That'll be a really nice addition to this build. But like I said, there's two kind of routes you can go. You can pay the $100 for the brand new, perfect OEM replacement, or you can go the super cheapo route. I said, you know what, let me try the super cheap route. At least initially. If that doesn't end up working out or doesn't last very long, then I'll buy the correct one for it. What else? You got the front forks. These guys have been fully disassembled. They have been vapor blasted. They have been recoated with Steel-It. Brand new stainless hardware on them. And I actually found these, I'm not sure exactly what you want to call them. They are Daystar that seem to fit the best. I wanted them in black. I didn't really want blue. And they fit really nice and they work out, and they're a fraction of the cost of OEM as well. So I'll put a parts link to those as well. Super clean, and those are ready to go back on. New seals, new wipers, new oil, and like I said, they're ready to rock. Front master cylinder and new front brake caliper. Both of these are Chinese off of Amazon. I've had good luck with this particular brand and style before. They're not OEM, they're pretty expensive. I have a OEM caliper over here, but it cost me less to buy both of these. The master cylinder with the front caliper was less than the rebuild kit. So I said, you know what, let me try these out first. If they don't work, then I'll rebuild OEM. The wiring harness from Vito's, excited for this guy. And they make good quality stuff. Make sure you buy the right year for your make and model. Still got this 250R front headlight bezel that I'm going to use as a plug to mold carbon fiber off of it. So excited for that when that finally comes around. We're getting really closer to the point where we're going to be reassembling, and I'm going to start kneading the carbon fiber. So it's about time that that's going to start coming due, if you will. And yeah, guys, for the most part, those are all the parts that I have assembled here, ready to go. As you can tell, pretty much everything is ready to go. I have a couple more key decisions to make, like what headlight I'm going to be running in this bezel. I'm pretty sure I'm leaning towards a KC Flex Aero 1, which should fit nicely in here. Should have a little room for the LED to breathe due to the heat. And like I said, I'm not exactly sure what else I'm missing. I'm sure I'm missing stuff. I'm sure I'm missing hardware, but those are stuff that is a little bit less important at this point. I have the meat and potatoes of this project ready to go. All the hard work, all the decisions like the frame and figuring out how that's going to tie in and not fall apart the first time I take it out for a rip. That's been figured out. Engine's almost figured out. Like I said, finding these mounts is going to be fairly simple. What else did I have to do? I had to make this little CDI mount. I say CDI, the front coil mount, ignition coil mount, excuse me. I had to make this ignition coil mount that the previous owner cut off. So I did that yesterday, painted it over. So I still have a little bit more paint to do. Gonna finish that up this week, and then it's off to assembly once I get that engine fully dynoed and jetted properly. So although it might seem like I've been moving slow on this, there's been a lot of progress that's been made, a whole lot of cleaning, a whole lot of refurbishing, a whole lot of larger decision making has been made, and all the corresponding parts that are coming together on this build are coming together pretty quick. So there's not a lot that's going to be stopping us from this point moving forward to get this bike complete. Like I said, we got paint this week, we got assembly probably the following 2-3 weeks, and then she should be ready for her maiden voyage. I would say give me until Thanksgiving week. I think we're going to be ready to take her on her maiden voyage. So super excited for this, guys. Thanks for supporting the channel. Thanks for the subscriptions, the likes, the comments. I appreciate it. If you guys aren't following it here on the long form videos, I've got shorts, I've got Instagram Reels going. So you can see a whole lot of the little parts getting blasted, or some of the other photos of some of the things like this ignition mount being made. There's some welding content. I've got a lot of good content coming. We got some more carbon fiber content coming as well. Really excited, guys. Thanks for the support. This is Alex Antonio Vapor Blasting. Peace out.